Targeting of cargo by criminal interest is a major concern for pharmaceutical supply chain. In addition to direct and indirect business losses, diverted produce is likely to cause additional harm to patients and other users and add costs by causing avoidable harm to patients. There is a major concern throughout the pharmaceutical industry with the escalation of violent cargo theft incidents in high-risk geographical areas. A significant increase in thefts has been experienced in Italy, Mexico, Brazil, and other countries. Theft of pharmaceutical cargo often goes unreported, most often because of the low probability that crimes will be properly categorized and investigated, and the negative publicity associated with crimes. The bureaucratic theft reporting process tends to compound the problem. Pharmaceuticals involved about 1 to 4% of all reported cargo thefts. Pharmaceuticals are specifically targeted in Italy and in Mexico, where the share of pharmaceuticals compared to other cargo is much higher. In the U.S., the overall volume of pharmaceutical cargo thefts is dropping while the average loss value per incident is steadily climbing. This is largely due to the decrease in readily obtainable, low-security loads as the industry has hardened its supply chain. The main hotspots are around Northeast and Deep South port cities on the East Coast and in Southern California on the West Coast. The threat of cargo theft in Mexico is categorized as severe. Pharmaceutical thefts have been on the increase since 2011. Organized criminal groups, including extremely well-funded and well-equipped drug cartels, will go to great lengths to successfully steal in-transit goods. Cargo thieves in Mexico are often very knowledgeable of how to overcome protective measures such as container locks and seals, GPS units, and even security escorts. Thieves often use violence or the threat of violence during the course of cargo thefts. Organized criminals often attack targeted shipments at vulnerable points of transit, such as isolated stretches of highway or areas known to be out of GPS range. Some of the methods employed include the bribing of train conductors to stop in secluded areas to avoid detection, holding the conductor and onboard security personnel at gunpoint while taking the cargo, executing multiple thefts along the same rail line. The use of GPS jamming devices has also increased. Majority of all recorded cargo theft incidents involved a hijacking. Organized cargo theft criminals establish relationships with drug cartels and the corrupt police officers who will facilitate thefts in exchange for payoffs. Some gangs extort custom agents, warehouse employees, and security guards at truck yards by using the threat of violence. Sizable efforts have been made to estimate the value of the total annual loss of all transit cargo stolen on European roads. Unfortunately, the theft of freight is categorized as a subset of other types of crime. Thus, the magnitude and economic impact of cargo crime can only be estimated. In July 2007, the European Parliament published a study in which it placed an estimate on stolen cargo at 8.2 billion euros. In 2015, FreightWatch International published its own assessment. The estimated loss value in 2013 stood at 11.6 billion euros, with worsening foresight for 2015 and 2016. Despite decreased traffic due to economic crisis, the threat to cargo increased due to better organization of criminal groups. Several hotspots in Europe are responsible for a significant portion of all cargo losses. Specifically, the Lombardy, Apulia, and Campania regions in Italy, the main Europe's hotspot for the pharmaceutical thefts, Paris in the wider Île-de-France region in France, the east to west and north to south transit motorways in Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands, and some regions in Spain, the United Kingdom, Poland, Ukraine, and Russia. In the UK, the proliferation of organized cargo crime is a growing concern. In 2013, there were about 50 organized cargo theft gangs operating in the UK. These gangs traverse the entire motorway network at stealing a broad range of items, including pharmaceuticals. These gangs are very successful at what they do, utilizing whatever tools necessary. From insider company information to following truck drivers on social media, some even purchase a company in trouble and operate it long enough to win contracts to carry their cargo of choice. They may even outsource the hacking of an order system to divert cargo toward their black supply chain. A true understanding of the cargo theft problem in Europe is incomplete because many freight thefts remain unreported or not properly recorded by law enforcement. Consequently, official and reliable statistics are non-existent in most European countries. The total number of cargo theft incidents appears higher in countries that actively record these incidents and make these statistics available, such as the Netherlands and Belgium. Transported Asset Protection Association Europe, Middle East and Africa, TAPA-EMEA, reports that the modus operandi used by most thieves has been theft from unsecured truck stops, fraudulent pickups, collusion, thefts from moving trucks, and truck hijackings. Most of the losses result from opportunistic crimes such as high-value shipments that are left idle in unsecured parking areas. Route planning is still not common. Some carriers do not comply with agreed security protocols even in high-risk areas. In addition, growing number of transport orders are subcontracted via online load boards to unknown and sometimes fraudulent carriers. The most frequently reported type of cargo theft is pilferage of the content through broken backdoor locks, followed by facility burglaries and theft of full truckload. Hijackings, truck robberies, and fraudulent pickups are popular especially in Italy, where GPS jammers are often used to divert the driver or force him to stop and consult a map. An increasing number of cargo theft gangs operate internationally. Their tactics are more sophisticated and range from online fraud and deception schemes to cybercrime and the use of newest technology to counter supply chain security programs. They are relying on wide networks to resell stolen goods on black markets. While profit margins are certainly tight across the logistics or transport sector, it is beyond debate that the implementation of industry best practices along with electronic freight tracking and monitoring programs, will save significantly more than the initial investment necessary to put these security measures in place.